good. So, hi.
Hi, Alejandra. This is so fun.
Hi, Sohui. All right, so introduce yourself.
My name is Sohui Kim. And I did describe to you earlier that in Korea, we say our surnames first. So really, in Korean, my name is Kim Sohi, or the actual softer pronunciation using that language would be Kim Sohi. So it's a little softer, but anyway.
So
Sohi
beautiful.
Kim.
Tell us.
Yeah,
Tell us
right?
about all the roles,
Right.
all the hats.
Right. So I guess, professionally, I'm a chef, partner, entrepreneur, restaurateur, cookbook writer, just daily, I'm on my phone a lot, troubleshooting, talking to people, planning out the day, not just for the restaurants and the employees, but also, I guess, family executive. So, a lot of hats, like a lot of women people wear. Days is great, I have the energy to now, thanks to you, to really manage all of that, So yeah, it's a busy life, it's a full life, and I'm for the most part very, very content and happy, and really happy to be 52 years old. I have 3 restaurants, as you know. The Good Fork is the smallest one. INSA is sort of mid-size. I have about 35, 40 people there. And then Bagage and Tollner is sort of a beast, and it's a lot of people.
Right.
So there's always something.
Yeah.
We were like, hey, you were like, I'm doing this, come. And I tried it, but then I was so embarrassed because I was like I didn't know what I was doing. And remember, I had the camera off, and you're like, dummy, put your camera back on so I could actually see you. But I was really not feeling good physically.
Yeah, I remember that.
And it was hard. And I have to say that working with you and reconnecting with you and putting in that time really was the start of the silver lining, right? Because don't forget, also I was going through a major health situation, unbeknownst to me.
I was going to get to it, yeah.
Yeah, so I finally got my blood level and everything checked out, and it turns out that I had the highest forget cholesterol. They could even count the cholesterol because of triglyceride level. On and off, I did it for the summer, but not seriously, until I was like, okay, it is this whole shift of paradigm of how am I gonna live? It starts here in this mind with this body. That I think gave me the strength to truly to reconnect to the actual physical strength that I didn't know that I used age as an excuse to make excuses for myself. It's okay to make all this noise when you get up because I'm getting older. No, it doesn't.
Well, you and the rest of the world, basically, right?
Right. Yeah. So it was a true wake up call, and I could just totally gush on this, to the length of how I felt very coddled and taken care of by you, and by extension, the lovely people that work out together, and all via Zoom, which is so crazy to make that kind of connection, because Zoom seems so impersonal, right? And people know Zoom as the off. I mean, I Zoom all the time.
About Reconnect to Strength way of training speaks to you.
Right. So I think that sometimes I'm like, oh, I wish Alejandra was right in front of me so I could really sort of see and she could correct, But because that isn't readily available, I think I take the lesson or the class much more seriously in paying attention and really focusing. The perks and the upside is the fact that I could do it in my tiny little corner of my house, at the foot of my bed. And I could go from working 1 minute and then, oh no, it's 9 o'clock or it's 10:30. I gotta do this. And so the accessibility is key for me, especially if I'm trying to get somewhere, get dressed, get the stuff, just the logistics of it. It fits sort of a busier lifestyle. And so it's working for me. And I think that it is the way that you teach the class, reconnecting to strength, is that you're very articulate and you're obviously very knowledgeable, and you are able, even without your students being there, like you can just walk us through it all. You know what I mean? So if you are like half as, like articulate, then no, it wouldn't happen. Using the word bruja, like you are a witch. Like there is a way that you connect to in each individual people, no matter how different we are.
Right.
You're able to connect with us on such a fundamental human level. And then there's also, for myself, and I think for a lot of the women, is that we share in commonalities of journeys.
Right.
Menopause is a big deal. No one
It's a
ever talks
big
about
deal.
it, and we
Yeah.
talk about that in class. So it becomes a safe place to discuss, you know, uh, discuss these things that are common to us, that is perhaps taboo in society that we don't normally talk about. I think that having, you know, done this for so long, and hitting so many apex in your career, that you are able to do the same thing. Like it really is
Right.
business of us, all of us connecting with each other, not just in my profession, but definitely your
Yeah.
profession. And that you have mastered that, you know what I mean? So you are able
Thank
to
you.
coax better performance, out of all of us that have such individual needs, even in a small group setting, even over Zoom. And that is truly unique and marvelous.
How would you say the way you move in Reconnect to Strength program, the way we move in the Hive, how would you say you use that or translate that into your everyday moving? How?
Everybody who knows you and Tomas, like your initial business of everyday athletes, like and now your reconnect to strength movement or classes, they're so aptly named. Like everyday athlete is brilliant, and reconnecting to strength is just absolutely brilliant, because it is what we do every day, is what we strive to be and to do every day. So I mean, I text you, like if I'm on a grocery line, hey, I'm doing my toes right now. Everything that you taught me this morning, I'm utilizing, and I feel my glutes. Oh my God, I totally get what you're saying. And this is all on, like, on the line at the grocery store.
So good.
Even when I'm
So
in the
good.
kitchen, when I'm chopping something, I make sure that my shoulders are back, you know what I mean, and everything's aligned, and that I can
The
feel
drawer.
the drawer is closed. And forever, I'm always like, I say it to my cooks and my kids, close your drawer. They're like, what? That drawer's not open. I'm like, no, your drawer.
That's, I love it.
So it is, again, the accessibility, and again, the type of instruction that you give that is so applicable to everything that we do, that makes sense. Because it can't just be about that hour a day, several times a
Right.
week. It has to be
Right.
continuous and
Right.
constant. With reconnecting to strength is all about diversity, and different movement forms. So, and I've said this over and over again, I never get bored. You know what I mean? There's no chance to get bored, because you're so quick on your feet and switching everything up. And the way that you plan everything out, it's very diligent, and we all recognize it, and we all appreciate it. You know what I mean? You keep us engaged and focused. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Oh my gosh.
And as soon as you stop doing it, you're gonna forget. Just like language. If you don't speak the language, then you're gonna forget it.
Yeah.
And so this is a language of reconnecting to strength that you have to speak every day. Oh man, that was good.
That was amazing.
25 cents right there.
Yes, yes. What really moves you, motivates you to show up?
It's simple. That's the simplest answer, is to say, I feel better when I do. I feel better. And you're always promising, just show up as you are, and you'll feel better at the end of class. And you're freaking right. Every time.
That's all I ask.
It's-
Show up
yeah,
as you are.
That's
Yeah.
Because I feel better. The days that I work out with you, I feel better. Signing up and exercising and working with you it really is about projecting into the future and making sure,
Right.
I mean, can I stave off some catastrophic thing that potentially could happen, or some sort of cancer, like, who knows, like, we can't control it, but boy, if we didn't do as
Right.
much as we could.
Right.
And to me, showing up every day working with you is that commitment, is why I feel good at the end of class, or is why I feel good starting the day, having done an Alejandro class. This is important because, not just for my present day self, but for my, you keep saying over and over again, for that 80-year-old self. So I do it for her.
Yeah.
Because it's a small group setting, and I now know most of the people, pretty well. And some of these people I've never met
Right.
in my life.
Right.
Like Vero, for some reason, cracks me up. I love because she actually voices some of the things that I'm thinking. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yes.
So she's like representing hard, and she's not afraid to like speak up and say, well, this doesn't feel good,
Right.
daily. And it's just seeing these people that I know and I don't know, but I know, just be in this space, safe space together, and sharing the moments, like when we're being completely frank, about our body parts, or just whenever you talk about like vagina flowering, I crack up.
Blossoming.
Yeah, that's right. Flowering, blossoming. Right. Oh my God. So many times I want to text you like during the day. I feel my vagina blossoming now. The whole connection, right? This ability to connect to our own strength is to understand our physiology. And you are such a great teacher of biology and physiology, and making us understand that, yes, the neck bone is connected to the shoulder bone, but then the neck bone is somehow connected to, all these other body parts. The whole notion that like my neck could be really messed up because of my chest and my, like, the muscles, here. It is the true essence, and I don't think I ever really understood it until most recently, the alignment of the body, and how, overcompensating here is going to affect you here,
Right.
and vice versa. So it's not, my understanding of my own body is not localized. Like, oh, if I'm having knees, then something's wrong with my knee. And I never would have thought like, no, it's my inner thighs, stupid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I remember 3 years ago, like right after the pandemic, I had such issues with my knees because my body was so out of whack. And I was like, my knees.
Yeah.
And then you were like, just roll these various different parts of your leg, your inner thigh. And I did roll my eye. I was like, what is she talking about? Like, I told her my knees hurt. And she's asking me to roll on my quads and my buttocks. Like, she clearly doesn't understand. And yet, it was me sort of misreading the cues that my own body is telling me, and for you to be able to decipher that. So you're like the greatest sort of detective. Like, okay, this is the problem I'm having, and everybody says that, and you're like, well, it could be X, Y, and Z, and lo and behold, it is X, Y, and Z.
Right.
I feel like every day is an opportunity for us to come to you and say, well, this is how I'm sleeping, how I'm doing, and how I'm feeling.
Yes.
Solve this mystery for me, and you most often always do. And I've seen that in other people that you work with, and I certainly feel that, within my own body. So that reconnecting to my own strength has taken 3 years, ever since I started working with you, and I don't think there's an end point. Do you know what I mean? Like, so this just has to be, a way of life. It just has to infuse and to be like, I think when I was like in my 20s and 30s, I was like that. It's like, okay, I exercise, that's done. You know what I mean? But the way that you have
Right.
engineered this class is like, we take it with us to the grocery store, to work, even to sleep. So it's a very holistic, amazing approach. And so, if I keep talking about this, Mo, I'm going to start crying. So I'm going to just stop talking about it.
Oh my goodness.
So thank
So
you.
proud.
So thank you. I'm so proud of you and me, and you know, and thank you.
Us, yes,
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
magic that we make every
I
day,
know.
because
No, it's awesome.
it goes both ways.
Yeah.
Like I show up, I have a reason to get out of bed and show up as I am.
Yeah.
You know, migraine and all.
Yeah. Yeah. For all of us to be able to bring in whoever else that could certainly need it, want it, you know what I mean, is powerful. It really is,
It
because you're
is.
sharing such a gift.
It
you know?
is.
Yeah.
It is powerful, and I love how it's organically, very carefully growing,
Yeah.
very careful,
Yeah.
because it is something special, and I'm so grateful.
Totally. Absolutely. So thank you.
That was good.
That was great, huh?
Thank
But
you
it's
so
nothing.
much.
It's nothing I've not said before. Just in front of like $5,000 worth of equipment.
Oh my